to have you here.
Good, buddy.
You guys hear me all right? I tend to talk loud. I lost half of the room, though, so hopefully people come back here. All right. Listen, I'm very honored to be here. Can you guys give Jim a great big round of applause for putting some awesome event together like this? Honestly, guys, it takes a lot to pull something off like this off, and Jim is such an amazing guy. Most people don't know this, and he's left the room, so he doesn't get the accolades of hearing it, but this Sharper Business Solutions venture started about 3 years ago because of Jim Ingersoll, right? I was on a team buying this all in 300 houses a year, and Jim Ingersoll had a mastermind, and good old Mo Matthews came up to Chicago with Kathy and a couple other guys, and he came into my office, and he's like, we had all this stuff in common with business processes. He's like, man, what you've done here for this organization, doing 300 deals a year, because I was the integrator, you got to teach other people and help the other real estate investors treat it like a business too. And he planted a seed, right? And I'd already helped a couple people, but I didn't turn it into a business until he said, you kind of owe the real estate world what you can teach. And so he doesn't know that, and he just stepped out, so he'd probably have to watch a video. I'll make him watch a video. But that all came from Jim. Jim has got like one of the biggest giving hearts of anybody I know. And if you know Jim, you know he's a giver. And that's kind of who I am. And so he's back in the room, so we'll quit talking about him now. All right. 4 secrets to business growth. Guys, I'm going to move quickly here. I spent over 15 years in corporate America, 300 employees, 25 mid-level managers. I was an executive for Canon for 15 years. Started investing in real estate myself in 2004. Started a property management company, had over 150 doors. Worked with a team of almost 30 people that did over 300 deals a year in real estate. A lot of the guys there, Dave Richter here in the back of the room, he was part of that team. Tom Olson was a part of that team. Guys, I'll tell you, if I told you all the names that were part of this team, back then we just thought we were just doing it. But these guys, all of us kind of went out and we were like an MVP team, right, Dave, when you say that? And it was amazing that we all came together and that God brought us together at just that right time. And we were able to produce like 300 deals a year. I never say it was just because of me, right? Because it wasn't. It wasn't just because of Wayne. It wasn't just because of Tom. You know, it was a collective group of some really cool people that came together and really built a great operation. And but I was honored to be a part of that from 2011 to 2016. We did over 1,200 real estate transactions together. That team did in that 5 years. I helped build a mastermind. You guys met Tom, good success. So I was the president and owner and founder of that company. I actually sold my shares to Tom in 2016. And then 2016, I started Sharper Business Solutions with my wife, Susan, here. Wave, babe. That's my beautiful wife for 21 years. If you ever work with us, you'll know she's the brains behind the operation. She's my integrator. Susan, this company, Sharper Business Solutions, is actually named after her. So S. Harper is Susan Harper. So Sharper Business Solutions is her. She's 51% owner. She just tells me what to do, and I show up and do it every day. Okay? She doesn't like to speak, so I get the honor of doing that. We specialize in systems and processes that you heard, but so much more than just that. Let me keep going here. My why, you guys you heard about the why over the last couple of days, right? What's your purpose, cause, passion? My why is to give up my life to honor God. And what I mean by life is broken down here: labor, influence, finances, and experience. I want to give up my life to honor God. I almost passed away in 2011. I came down with Lyme's disease, went back to a 5-year-old mental state. My wife bathed me every day for 6 months, took care of me, and brought me back from being a vice president, brought me back to being able to stand in front of you today, because she never quit on me. And we promised God in 2011 that if he gave me my life back and restored our finances and my health, I'd give the rest of my life to helping him, right? And that was through helping you. So that's what we want to do. Our goal is to give $2.6 million away a year to the Lord's work, and that's our plan. Thank you. This is my other part of my why right here. This is my wonderful daughter. She is my personal assistant. She's also studying nursing in college. So if you email me, she's the one answering you back. So if it's written well, that's because she's the one doing it. My other why is my son. He's a little taller than now. He's about 6 foot. And he's a senior in high school, and he studies girls and basketball. And he's really good at that too. And he plans to actually come to work with us. He actually fixed and flipped a house this summer. Took the proceeds of it and bought a brand new truck with it. So if you're in this room today and you're going to let a 17-year-old outdo that, I mean, he did it. 17 years old. Now, granted, he's been doing it. He's been around it a long time, so he knows what to do. But he did that at 17 years old. If you want to see videos and pictures of it, I'll show it to you tonight at dinner. Now, this is my why. So what do? I'm a John Maxwell certified coach. I teach leadership, training, coaching, personal one-on-one development. I'm also a Six Sigma expert, which Jim talked about. And then how many of you guys heard of the book Traction? So I'm an EOS implementer. I'm proud to tell you that I actually wrote my own curriculum. My book's coming out in about 3 weeks, and we're going to be pushing our own book here soon. And we've actually gotten that rolling in 2016. How many of you guys ever heard of Think Realty? Okay, so I'm a Think Realty coach. If you go on thinkrealty.com, go to education, go to coaches. I have about 100 videos on there you can go watch of how to build a business. It's free. They don't charge a dime for it, and I do it because they don't charge a dime for it. Okay? You guys, I am not here to pitch you today. I'll tell you about an opportunity at the end of the day, but I am going to give you a lot of really good stuff today, okay? If you guys will stick with me, I know we're short on time. I wish I had longer because I love to talk. We're good? All right. Is your business stuck? Are you having problem solving issues? Do you have the wrong people in your business? You guys have to mind my hoarseness a little bit. I've talked about 60 hours this week. Has your business become so complex that communication has deteriorated? Have you hit a ceiling personally, departmentally? Are you frustrated? The biggest question I'll ask you today is, do you want help? If you're tired of treating this thing like a hobby and you want to treat it like a business, guys, you see this quadrants right here? Where is 95% of the wealth generated?
Business owner.
Business owner. How many of you guys call yourselves a business owner? Are you doing the jobs every day? Are you swinging the hammer? Are you working on your business or in your business? Because if you're working in your business, then you are still self-employed and you still own a job. Our program is meant to get you here where you work on the business and stop working in your business. Okay? Because if you're still working in your business, you're still here. Whether you're exchanging time for money with a co-laborer or not, and you're the owner, you're still here. 95% of the wealth is generated when you're here. And the goal here, guys, the whole goal, Sharper, is to get you here where you're exchanging money for money to give yourself more time. Why? Because at 2001, I found out the most important element that I wanted more of in life. You know what it was? Time. It wasn't money. It wasn't fortune. It wasn't fame. And all the reality really wasn't even freedom. What it was time. I wanted my time back. And I went, oh, Lord, what do I do with my time? How do I get more of it? When you're facing death's door and you get a little bit of that mortality motivation, and you have to decide what you did with your time and where you're going to spend the rest of your time, you're going to have to answer the question of where did you spend it and were you a good steward of it? Woe be to us if we have to look our Maker in the face and say we wasted our time. Right? And so it's very important that you get out of this mentality and switch over, we start being a business owner so that we can get our time back. Because if you make that jump, start investing and have money make you money, you will get your time back. And we'll talk about how we're going to do that journey today. Okay? 4 secrets to business success. We're going to run quickly. 1, first secret is how to replace fear with knowledge. 2, the change of a mindset. 3, the missing connections. Of 4, systems and processes. Number 1, overcoming fear. Sure, I'll go back. You want a picture? Guys, if you give your business card to my wife, I'll make sure you get a copy of these slides in a PDF form. You'll find something out about me. I'm a huge giver. I don't hold back. I always tell people what I give you, about 98% of the people in the room go, I need my help doing that. I need some help doing that. 2% say they can do it on their own, and God bless you, I want you to do it on your own. If you can do it on your own more, I'd help you. I'd love that even more. This is these 4 secrets. Number 1 is overcoming fear. Okay? What are your fears? We all have different types of fears that hold us back. Is it completing your first RE transaction, real estate transaction? Is it going full time in real estate? Is that a fear? Maybe your fear is cutting the strings from a paycheck, right? Maybe your fear is the changes that are coming in the economy. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe the fear of leading and letting others down. That was one of my biggest fears right there. But I didn't really care if I failed, but like, what if I hurt other people in the process, right? What about fear of success? You know the number one reason people fail to scale is because they're scared of what it looks like when they get that big. That fear of success holds them back, not knowing how to manage it. Well, I don't know what I do with $1 million, right? Well, maybe Walter could help you figure that out, right? All right, overcoming fear. The more you understand about what's going on, the better you feel about it. Guys, one of my biggest fears is flying. I fly 5 to 7 times a week. I've flown over 1,800 times. I gave Southwest Airlines $160,000 last year. And I'm scared to death to fly. So what did I do? I fall asleep now on them, but what did I do? I had to educate myself. I had to find out information about flying. Why? Because fear, to replace it, you have to replace it with knowledge. Okay? Fear is replaced with knowledge. Where are you getting knowledge from? Everybody has to learn something from somewhere, right? Where's your knowledge coming from? What are you doing to improve yourself and make yourself a better leader today? We do that through knowledge. I read 3 books a week. I pay my kids $40 to read a book. I never paid my kids to do chores. Never. My son came to me at 12 years old and said, Dad, I'd like some money. I said, well, go read a book. You going to pay me to read? Absolutely. You read a book on self-improvement or something that makes yourself better, he read the book Compound Effect. My son recently wrote an Think Realty article that's at Barnes & Noble right now at 17 years old on how to do your first flip because he learned from the compound effect. Why? Because knowledge is power. It replaces fear. He didn't have the fear at 17 years old to try to do his first deal because he had knowledge. We got knowledge out the yang, guys. We got it on podcasts. We have it on books, blogs, real estate RIAs, YouTube, Think Realty, seminars, masterminds, coaches and mentors. Guys, events just like this, you have tons of opportunity to get free knowledge. Now, you want some more advanced knowledge like you've gotten this week. And by the way, guys, some of the best speakers that I speak on stage with, we're here for you this weekend at a price point that I don't usually speak on a stage for, right? So there are some very, very good speakers in here at a really great price. You guys owe Jim Ingersoll a very big hug today. So great opportunity to be a part of this. Look, a true leader replaces fear with knowledge, right? Doesn't stop there. And they have enough faith to pursue what?
Purpose, cause, passion.
Purpose, their cause, or passion, their why. Tom talked about this yesterday. Kind of cut from the same cloth, right? I mean, it's kind of spent the last 10 years together. Of course, we're going to be happy about that. Second, wrong mindset. Number 2 is mindset here, guys. Wrong mindset, believing everything falls on your shoulders. One of the worst things that I deal with entrepreneurs is they feel like it begins and ends with them. Mindset of entitlement. Some of the millennials that I deal with right now like almost believe that it should happen just so that it should happen. They don't want to work for it. It's the wrong mindset. Number 3, grinding and hard work will lead to success. Because that's not true. I see it all the time on the Facebook. Hey man, are you grinding? How many of you guys putting in 18 hours today? I'm like, forget that, I don't want to grind. I forgot who said it. I was back there, I was talking to Wendy, he said something about working. Walter said something about, or Quincy said something about working. I'm like, I don't want to work. Right? I stopped wanting to work a long time ago. This doesn't work. I love doing this. Winging it without a vision plan. Hey, I'm just going to wing it. I'll figure it out as I go. That doesn't work. Not needing a brand. That's another thing that people have the wrong mindset on. They can hide behind like some fake name, or they don't really have to create a company brand. All these things are problems that we find with the wrong mindset of leaders. Lack of focus. This is one of the biggest things I see in real estate investors that get cocky. They think because they're good at one thing, they can be great at all. And that's just not true. I've seen guys be awesome wholesalers and lose their shirt at fix and flip. I've seen guys be great at buy it and hold and turnkey and with terrible, terrible, terrible wholesalers. Right? You have to figure out what your focus is and stay focused on it. It's like the Jamaican that I heard a couple months ago trying to say the word focus on stage. Instead of focus, it came out fuckus, right? And I told him, I said, that's exactly what you're doing, right, when you don't focus. He said, I love that. I'm going to use that from now on. And then he went on to say that you entrepreneurs, you're like a guy trying to crap in 2 pots. You're just making a mess. You know? I told him I was still that because that was really funny. Anyway, let's go on. Wrong mindset. When you change what you think, you'll change what you do, right? So we have to start changing what we do and what we think. Believe that you can do better than you did last year. Guys, if you're not ashamed of who you were 12 months ago, you've done something wrong. Spend more time working on your business and not in it. Number 3, learn to lead, not just manage. Have a documented and communicated vision plan. Stop doing those $10 an hour tasks. Stop it. Stop it. Change your mindset to how you can spend more time working on your business. We got a little cut off there. We're going to jump ahead. All right. Unfortunately, most entrepreneurs spend less than 30% of their time doing the one thing they went in business to in the first place. Spending time in their core excellence. In fact, oftentimes entrepreneurs spend more time doing everything but that one thing. And that one thing is to have freedom. Right? Isn't that why we did this? To be able to do what we want, when we want, with whomever we want to do with. It's not all just about the money. But if I wanted to go spend time, you heard the lady earlier today, lead generation, said she was at all these different events and stuff. Why? Because she's created freedom. That's what we all want. But it takes letting go. We have to be intentional to stop working in our business and be intentional about working on our business. We have to change this mindset. Guys, I want to get into systems and processes. I'm barreling through this, but I always tell myself, Gary, slow down. Because if you don't change the mind, if you don't replace the fear, none of the rest of it matters anyway. Okay? Because we can build out systems and processes and you don't let go, who are you going to give it to? Right? Keep going. Building connections. Guys, where do you pay for access? I love Jim Ingersoll. He'll tell you this all the time. Your network is your net worth. First time I heard that from him. And I put it in here specifically for this event today because it's so true. It's not about who you know, but who knows you. I have a philosophy, guys, on my wall at home, because I heard this from Jim right here. I believe a successful company has customers that create customers. If we did this right, we wouldn't need marketing. Guys, I do zero marketing other than speak like this. And me and my wife have been blessed by God this year to be booked till July right now. Okay? And what a blessing. Why? Because my customers create customers. I don't charge my clients until I'm done. Right? Why? Because I want to go and over-deliver value. And if I can over-deliver value, then I've received the right to be paid. Okay? And then they go out and tell other people how I changed their business. Now, we have a boot camp that doesn't do that. We have to charge up front for that. But when we go work one-on-one with a client, we spend 3 days with them in their office. We don't charge them until we're done. Well, that's expensive. You know, if I screw up, that's a lot of time and money on my pocket. I got to pay to fly there and hotel space. That's a big risk. But I believe solely in the fact of delivering value first. All right. I'm a firm believer in networking, guys. Events like this one. Let me tell you this, guys, you're missing out if all you think the people that you need to get to know is the people on this stage. If you haven't learned the person's name sitting next to you and the opportunity to network with them, you have missed a huge opportunity to be in an event like this. More deals are done. Hey, I've seen more value come out of events like this when deals are done between people and partnerships are transpired because people opened up to the network next to them. Great opportunities. Think Realty. We have a Think Realty event coming up in Baltimore here next couple months. Meetup groups, RIAs, all these things, masterminds, coaching. These are all opportunities to meet other people, like-minded individuals like you, right? And I'm not talking about the guy on the stage. I'm talking about you in the room. There's almost 100 of you in here. Get to know each other. The value is right in this room. Number 4, my favorite part of this whole presentation. We're rolling, guys. We're keep going. I'm going to talk about 3 of them today. And we're at 6:07, so I'm going to hasten here. Vision, people, processes. First is vision. Guys, if you think you need to do anything else before you get started in real estate other than build a vision plan, you're mistaken. Every time a solopreneur or entrepreneur comes up to me and says, Gary, what's the first thing you would advise me to do? I tell them to build their vision. Bible says where there's no vision, the people perish. Right? You have to have vision. People cannot follow when there's no path. Big dreams require a strategic plan. Do you have a clear vision in writing that has been properly communicated to your entire staff? And you say, well, I don't have a staff. Did you tell your spouse? Did you tell the people that loves you and you love them what your vision is? And you say, why? Well, guys, if you have a vision and it's here, it's not on paper and you haven't communicated, let me tell you something today. Your vision's dead. Because the only way a vision lives on is when you provide accountability to that vision. You need somebody walking up to you going, saying, where are you at with this? You need to have that vision communicated regularly so people around you that love you can hold you accountable to achieving it. Isn't that what we want anyway? We want to achieve, right? Execution is what we need. The only way we'll get it is through accountability. We have to properly communicate. Anyone can steer a ship, but it takes a leader to chart a course. You have to be a leader of your business. And guys, it starts with you. You have to lead you first. Navigation requires vision. If you're going to lead a ship and navigate it, you have to have an understanding of the past. You have to have an understanding of the future. You have to know where you're going. To navigate for others, you must know the way, show the way, and then go that way. That's a John Maxwell statement. You must know the way, show the way, and then go that way. The only way you're going to know it is to think it. 2, you have to show it, put it down, and then go that way. Have people hold you accountable and go with you. All right, I want to help you today. In order to create a vision plan, we have to plan ahead. Okay? 1, we have to predetermine a course of action. We have to lay out our goals, adjust our priorities, and we have to notify key personnel. Hey, if you're in this room today and you're about to quit your job, you might want to let your wife know first. Just saying. If you don't, I have a marriage clinic on March 8th and 9th that you can come to, and I'll help to fix that too. It's called the Sharper Couples. All right? But you might want to let her know before you quit. Next part of this is you have to allow time for acceptance, right? Because if you tell her, she better get on board. So let her buy into it, or them buy into it. And then you have to head into action. And you guys, let me tell you something. You have to head into action. You actually have to head into action. You have to take a step. Okay? Think about my 17-year-old son is out working you right now doing his deals. If you haven't done a deal yet, that's a problem. Head into action. But then expect problems. They are going to come. This isn't like it's a perfect marriage. You're going to have ups and downs in real estate. Okay? We all do. David, we lost some money on some houses, did we not, in that company? I think we have one in Columbus, Ohio. We lost about $80,000 on it. Is that right? Yeah, as a company, that's what the company lost, right? It's problems are going to come. Don't think they won't, okay? Always point to success. How many of you guys have ever heard of the statement, fail forward? Right? But fail forward. Last, daily review your plan. Keep that vision alive. Keep it in front of you. How many of you guys know what a vision plan looks like? Well, I'm going to tell you right here, this is what a vision plan looks like. You need to know what your core values are. You need to know what your purpose calls passion. Your why is. Guys, let me help you with something on this why real quick. A little divert here. I struggled with this for a while, like knowing what my why was. Simon Sinek has a book called Start With Why. How many read that book? He has a website called Start With Why too, so if you check that out, it'll kind of help you. Most of you might get help with it, but I still struggled from that. Where I found my why is when I found my who. When I found the who, the why took care of itself. Who am I doing this for? Answer that question. You find out who you're doing it for, and the why follows it right in half. It takes right after it. And then ask the question, the what and the how. The what and the how is a niche. But we all get out of high school, we look at where we're going to go in life, we go, all right, so what am I going to do? And how am I going to do it? And at some point we go, what? Why am I doing this? Right? And I got to that point at 35 years old, I had to go back and ask the other question, who am I doing it for? And once I figured that out and re-engineered it backwards, it sure made a lot more sense to me. Okay? So figure out your purpose. Figure out your niche. Figure out a niche. Please try to figure out a niche. Don't try to do too much. Either do wholesale or don't. Let me tell you this. I'm going to show you some profile tests here of the ideal profiles for real estate investors for every seat in the business. And if you don't have that profile and you're not a good buyer and seller, wholesale is probably not the business for you. That's the thing that everybody doesn't tell you. Well, wholesale sounds really good. I think I'm going to do that. Do you have the profile to do it? Because wholesale is really about you. And it's just a one-man team most times. If you don't have the profile for it, you're probably not going to be successful at it. So then you either know thyself And that's where it all starts, is knowing you. Then you can go out and get somebody else that can do the job that you need to do it right. But we all just go after it with our head down, grinding away, wondering why we're not succeeding. Because we don't have the knowledge that it takes to do it right. And that's what I'm trying to employ you guys to do today, is treat it like a business. Next, 5 to 30-year goal. Jim Collins calls this your BHAG goal, your big, hairy, audacious goal. What is your 100%? What are you ultimately trying to get to? I want to give $2.6 million away a year. That's my goal. That's my BHAG. Why do I tell you that? Not to brag. What did I tell you earlier? I would love for Ken Lacey to walk up to me in 10 years and go, Gary, where are we at? Where are you at? 2.1, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, where are we at?
Where are you at, man?
Right now I'm at $450,000 a year. So I'm not there yet, but it's a BHAG goal, right? And that's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to stretch us, okay? Marketing avatars. What does your avatar look like? Who's your ideal customer? You have 3 avatars in this room. You have a buyer, a seller, and a lender. Figure out where they are, okay? Then figure out your 2-year focus. Where are we going to be in 2 years? A 2-year focus includes a gross profit, not revenue. There's no revenue in real estate. Gross profit, net profit, and measurables. What kind of deals are you going to do to get that gross profit? Next, 1-year strategy. Again, gross profit, net profit, measurables, how many deals you're going to do, and then 7 goals to get you there. What are the 7 things you have to do in order to achieve that revenue goal or that gross profit goal? Next, quarterly goals. Break those 1-year goals down in the next 90 days. What do I have to do in the next 90 days to get there? Then do a SWOT analysis. You guys know what a SWOT stands for? There you go. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I add one more T. And trends. So it's SWOT with an extra T. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, and trends. Where do you see this business trending right now? Okay? Last, what are the issues stopping you from doing it? That is your 10 points to a good vision plan. Okay? Now you have the knowledge. Now you have to execute. Keep going here. If you want it, take a picture. If not, I'm moving on. All right, people. If we have a vision plan, now we have to have the people that are willing to follow us, right? Because if we're going to get into this quadrant, we don't want to be self-employed anymore. We got to get other people to do the work, right? So how do we find the right people? Let's talk about it. The most important component to letting go is people. You have to have 100% of the right people in the right seats, okay? Well, first, you got to figure out what are the right seats. And then you got to figure out, is your team rowing together to get there? It's a story I like to tell here. I'm going to pass by it. We'll go to the next. He who thinketh he is leading and no one is following is only taking a walk. That's exactly what some of you guys are doing today. You're on a walk, okay? And you got to figure out who's going to follow us. Because if you don't, you're going to stay in that self-employed quadrant. Right people, right seats mean this. First and foremost, who are you going to delegate to? What do you need to delegate to them? Okay? List out the seats that you need to get rid of and you're going to delegate to. And I'm going to teach you how to do that here in a minute, so don't think too long and hard about that. Then hire based on your core values. Part of that vision plan. How many of you guys have ever hired somebody and they were awesome at what they did, or you worked with somebody and like, man, I can't stand that guy. They're great at their job, but I can't stand, I don't want to be in the same room with them. Why? Because they didn't match your core values. They rubbed your core values the wrong way. That doesn't make them the right people for you. I don't care if they're awesome at their jobs and get you 50 deals a year. Well, I might forgive them for that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, if they're not the right people, you're going to grow a burden of them, and you're going to want to get rid of them. Okay? Trust me, I've been there. Then you need to determine if they're sitting in the right seat. What seat do they need to sit in? What seat do you need to sit in? Here's the questions I ask when I'm determining what seat they should sit in. One is, do they have the experience needed? Okay? That's not a guilt killer for me, though, guys. I'll put somebody in a seat that doesn't have experience. I can train that. But I like having it, right? Number two, do they want to do the job? 100% deal killer. If somebody says, nah, I don't really want to do that, all right, done. Not doing it. Because I don't care, you're great at it. Your desire changes, you don't want to do it, we're done here. Lisa, you got to a point where you didn't want to do something anymore, right? Did you really have any desire to want to do it or be good at it all anymore? So it doesn't matter if you were good at it. If you don't want to do it, it's over. It's over. Same thing with your employees. Once your desire's gone, it's over. I was talking to you, mind if I share a little bit? I was talking to her about 2 years ago, and she says, I'm just done. I said, all right, then be done, right? Like, you need to move on to something else. Figure out what that something else is and do it. Last, do they have the traits to perform the job? That's where profile testing comes in. I use Tony Robbins' free DISC profile. So if you have a Tony Robbins free DISC profile, it's free. I make all my employees go through it. Whenever I hire somebody, I use Wise Hire, because Wise Hire uses DISC to measure whether or not they have the ability to do your job. They include it on the onboarding system. It's just really good. So forget Indeed, forget, all those. Wise Hire is probably one of my favorite. And they're great people too. They reached out to Ken Lacey recently, and they want to sponsor his charitable organization. And they said you could hire as many people through our system for free. They're just great people. Next, utilizing DISC scores, right? DISC scores allow me to find one person in 1,000, right? It allows me to pick people out really quick. So I don't even look at experience or interview with them until I've looked at their DISC score, and it helps me eliminate people quickly, okay? So what I do here is I look at the DISC. DISC stands for this. D is how they problem solve. A high D loves to solve problems. They like to solve problems. They're more agnostic in solving problems. Matter of fact, they don't even want your opinion. The low D, they like to collaborate and ask for everybody's advice, okay? The I, the higher it is, the more people skilled they are. They're outgoing. They're extrovert. I'm a 99 I, guys. It doesn't go any higher. I will out-talk you all day. It doesn't matter. Like, if we get in a conversation, you're probably not talking. I'm just saying. The S is pace. The higher it goes, the more methodical that person is. I call that person Eeyore, right? I'm not going to do it, Susan. I'm not going to do it. My wife's a 99 I. So she doesn't move until she wants to move. So is Kathy, I think. So C. So the S, let me go back to the S. Ginger too? All right. So the S, the lower it is, the more impatient that person is. The more drive they have. I'm like a 10. I'm like one of the most impatient people you've ever met in your life. I want everything done like 3 days ago. For real. C, that's the process. The higher the C is, the more process-oriented they are. Guys, that also measures risk. So the higher the C, they're going to walk away from a house that's a little risky. Right? Guess what our industry gets filled with? They get filled with low C's. And guess what low C's can't do? They can't build processes. So they get stuck doing it all themselves because they can't train anybody else how to do it. Does that make sense? Yep. Know thyself. This is my DISC profile, my Kobe. You can see how high my I is there, how the B goes all the way up. The yellow is all the way up. And my C is really low. See that C? See how low that is? That's how patient I am. I'm not very patient. Anyway, keep going here. We have surveyed over 1,000 real estate investors now. We have helped 120 real estate clients. How many of you guys know Mike Hambright from Flip Nerd? He's one of my clients. I mean, literally the top 10% people in the country are my clients, okay? And so we have profile tested all the rock stars in the industry, and I have come up with the top profiles for every position in real estate. So if you want to know what the best acquisition profile looks like, it's that profile right there. If you want to know what the best integrator profile looks like, or project manager, right there. Right there. Marketing, finance, dispositions. Those are the ideal profiles for every seat in real estate. DISC. D-I-S-C. That is it. That's it right there. So like, if you're hiring for somebody, listen here, guys. If you're that person right here and you're trying to buy and sell houses, you're the wrong person. You can't do it. You won't do it. You won't buy them right. You have to go get that guy right there. That's Mo Matthews. That is. That's Mo Matthews' profile. He is high drive, and he wants everything done yesterday. Right, Kathy? But he's a rock star. Doing hundreds of deals a year. That's that profile. All right, keep going. Guys, by having these systems and processes, by having DISC profiles, you stop guessing about what's the right person anymore. It takes the questions out of it, right? So right people plus right seats equals letting go. Get the right people sitting in the right seats, now we can start letting go. All right, But we got to let go somehow, some way. A lot of us in this room might be a little bit of a dictator. Some of us might not want to let go. Some of us don't know how to let go. So we teach you how to let go. Okay? If you're like most entrepreneurs, you feel stuck, you feel like you want to let go. Here's what I tell people to do. If you feel like you're at your 100% maximum, then I'm going to tell you to write down everything you do every day. Create a list of everything you do every day. Okay? Once you created that list, I want you to put it in these quadrants right here. Right side is I don't like it or I'm not good at it. Okay? I don't like it, I'm good at it. I like it, but I'm not good at it. That's like singing for me. I like it, but I'm just not good at it. So nobody lets me do it. I don't like it, and I'm not good at it. If anything on your list is in that quadrant right there, don't do it. Okay? Whatever's left should be in this quadrant. I love it, and I'm great at it, or I like it, and I'm good at it. I get a question here. People ask me, how do I know if I'm good at it versus great at it? Well, when you're good at something, you'll tell others. When you're great at something, they tell you. Okay? So that's how you know the difference. But you put the rest of it in that quadrant, and here's another test I have for you. I don't care if you love it and you're great at it, or like it and good at it. You add the end technique to it now, and ask this question, does it energize me? Am I neutralized with it? I don't get energy and I don't lose energy? Or do I drain when I do that? And if you're good at it, I don't care if you're great at it, and it drains your energy, put it in the right quadrant. Guys, if you go home at night, ladies, if you go home at night and little Johnny wants to play with you and he comes and jumps on your lap and you go, oh, no, not right now. Daddy's tired. It's been a long day. You know what that tells me? You lived your life in that quadrant today. That's where you spent your whole day. Woe be us, guys. What's the number one asset? Time. If we spend our whole life living that quadrant right there. That young lady right there realized that about 3 years ago, and God bless her soul for saying, I'm done. Proud of you for that, by the way. Best move you ever made. Successful, as the world would say, is success. Killing her. It's not worth it. Okay? You have to make the right decisions in that. Next. Take and create a job description based off of this quadrant. Don't give it a title. Call it an OSR if you want. I don't care. You know why Disney's so successful? Is they don't have titles. They have cast members. You know what they do? They give everybody a job that they love or they're great at that gives them energy. When I interview somebody and I give them that list of stuff to do, and they come up to me, Lisa, I'll keep using you, and she says, boy, I'd like to do that. I say, really? You want to do this stuff right here? She says, yeah. Really? She says, I'd love to. Well, wow, you're sick. You're hired, right? Because I don't want to do it. But if you love it and you think you're great at it, well, I'll hire you all day long. Right? And then as you grow, and more people come on your team, you have them do it. And you create extensions of each other based off of this little exercise. Is this good? Yes. Hey, listen now, I got here and I'm still stuck. So I had to do something else because I'm a little bit of a dictator. I had to build trust. Okay? If you're going to work for me, I have to trust you. If I don't trust you, I'm not going to let you do my job, right? I'm not going to trust you with money. So here's what I do. I take that same job description and I put it in these quadrants. I say, all right, listen, these things right here, Ken, I want you to do it. But before you do it, talk to me first. So never do these things without talking to me first, Ken. Now, these things right here, I want you to do and then tell me how you did it. Now, this here, this I don't ever want to know about. Just go get it done. Right? This is like order toilet paper when you first start working. And here's a SKU number and here, where's you order it from? Because I still don't trust you yet. But over time, 90 days, this is going to become really left side heavy. Because it starts off right side heavy, and then it's going to shift to left side heavy. And you might have some like legal on the right hand side. You know, don't do this till we talk about it. You might have some budgetary stuff on the middle, like do it and then tell me how much you spent, right? But ultimately, if you build trust, that left side should be pretty full. That's a barometer for me that if that side doesn't fill up in 90 days, you're probably not the right person. Because I shouldn't keep you around if I don't trust you, right? So either you didn't want it, you didn't have the experience, or maybe it's not performing. 90 days right there, that right there tells me whether or not you're done or you're going to keep going. Okay, real easy form for me. I did that in 2001. It was one of the best forms I ever filled out. And now when I hire people, I say, hey, your first job is to make sure I fill that out with you. I put it back on them. I say, you got to make sure I fill this out with you at some point in the next week. Why? Because good people want to feel empowered. And good leaders want to let go. This form allows you to do that. Jim, I'll make sure you get a copy of those forms. You can give them out with anybody that signed up for your $140 thing. Okay? Surprisingly, most people are afraid of looking wasteful or being judged to why they don't let go. They're afraid to give up control, reluctant to spend the money to pay for help. Sad. Deep down, most people simply just don't want to let go. That's sad. I'm telling you, if you're in the room today, that's that mindset shift you got to start to have. Look, guys, we're going to jump into the processes here, and we're going to wrap it up for the night. Once you have people, now you have to train them. You have to give them something to do. The only way you're going to do that is getting the processes out of your head and getting them on paper. Okay? So what we do is we document the core processes of your business. Okay? Or you do it. I don't care who does it, but you got to get done. I don't want you to document it all, just the core. And then we use process mapping to do that. I'll leave out the middle stuff because that's a little bit down the line. But then we use Asana. How many of you guys have ever used Asana? Asana's free. Doesn't cost anything. I like free. How many of you guys like free? You can take the process map when you're done with it and put it in Asana for free. I'll go a step further. You want to know a software to process map in? There's a process software called Lucid Chart. L-U-C-I-D, chart. It's about $9 a month, cancelable at any time, and you go in there and create process maps that you're blue in the face. Okay? All right. Lucid Chart. Here's a question I have for you. Is 100% of your core processes documented followed by all? How many of you guys even know what your core processes are? Well, you do, because you've been in my other seminars. All right. A company without a process is like an explorer without a compass. You're mindlessly going at it. Gino Wickman, the author of Traction, said, you will not get your company to the next level by keeping your processes in your head and winging it as you go. Just not going to happen. Can't wing it anymore, right? Why process mapping? It ensures the organization does the process the same way every time. It improves employee productivity. It identifies steps that are not needed in the process. It removes steps that are created by this beautiful thing called, well, we've always done it that way, right? It helps create checklists for each department. And if you're a high S in here, you like checklists, so you can mark it off as you do it. Next, it helps identify where you can apply technology to streamline your processes. It allows you to work on the business, guys, and not in your business. This is the ticket to getting out of the business. Okay? It creates a self-sustaining model because you have an ability now to train somebody else how to do it. I believe in the 20-80 rule here. I know it's 80-20, but I say 20-80 because it's 20% of your processes that affect 80% of your business. That's all I want you to document. How many of you guys have been a part of a company that has standard operating procedures, like 500-page manuals? And what'd you do with them when they were done? Put them on the shelf, and they collected a lot of dust. You never did anything with them. This is not that. This is process mapping and only doing your core processes. And I'm going to tell you what those core are here in a minute. By documenting these core processes, it gives you peace of mind in knowing that everything's done the way you want it done. Right? And you can train on that. This is the core processes of real estate. Marketing for leads. Listen here, I'm going to give you the beginning and end of each process too. You ready? Marketing for leads, and it begins with target market defined. It ends when lead is received. Everything in between there, you got to fill in the gaps. What's your process from there to there? Next one is vetting the lead. Vetting the lead begins when? When the last one ended, right? So when lead is received, and it ends when you have an appointment set. The next process is acquiring the property. That is what? Appointment set to what? Contract to sign. Next one, well, these are disposition methods. Wholesale, fix and flip, buy and hold. They all begin when contract is signed and end when closing is scheduled. Marketing for sale, that's on the disposition side. If you're going to have to find somebody to buy the house, then that begins with determine target market again, and contract is signed. Last is your closing processes. Closing A to B, that's when you're buying it, and your B to C when you're selling it. That's core. That's it. There's no more than that. You get those processes documented, you have the core process of your business documented, and that affects 80% of your business. Now, as you grow, you'll have a lender payment process, and you'll have some fix and flip, or other some like contractor payment processes, things like that. Those are sub processes, but these are core. These are core processes. You got to get them out of your head and on paper. This is what a fix and flip process map looks like. Okay? This is why we lose our money when we do this process and we don't do it right. And that's leaned out, by the way. That's cleaned up. Look at this. Right there, I have this map memorized, by the way. Right there is house is closed. This is everything you got to do before you close on the house. This is everything you got to do after you close on the house. Okay? A lot of steps in there. Knowing it, being able to train on it is where the key comes. Now you ask, what are these different swim lanes? These swim lanes represent the different departments that are responsible for each step. Okay? It looks a little overwhelming. We have process mapped over 750 processes. Okay? In real estate. I have a team of 9. If you want my help with it, you can more than happily talk to Susan about it, and she can schedule time for somebody to help you with your processes. Usually we do one, somebody gets a good handle on it, and they can do a lot by themselves, right? But learning how to do it and getting it out of your head is important. Then you want to get them up on the walls so people can follow them. It's not enough just to have them documented. People need to follow them, right? I'm sorry, Lisa, you got that?
I got it.
All right, let's go back. And then get them in a sauna. Because when you, guys, that fix and flip process, did you see the swim lanes, the departments? Same thing here. These are the swim lanes. They're just vertical instead of horizontal. And then that right there's a Gantt chart. So you know the timeline of your project. That's free. It's like you just go sign up for it this afternoon. It's free use. And you put deadlines, you assign it to people, and it reminds them when they're supposed to do it. And every day they get an email saying, do this, do this. Kathy, you guys use it in your business? You guys like it, right? How many of you guys are using Asana? How many of you guys are using Asana and we haven't helped you use Asana? All right, so we got a couple people. Good. All right, what will business systems do for you? Well, it'll help you scale properly. It'll bring out the best in your employees. It'll reduce employee stress. It allows you to stop micromanaging the situation. It reduces employee turnover, okay? The other thing it does is it dials in your business processes, just like we talked about. It creates the right culture in your business because you have your core values. It creates a vision for people to follow so they know where we're going. It gets your team all on the same page, pulling in the same direction. And if you don't have a team, it teaches you how to get a team. Would you say all these things are worth doing?
Yes.
Do you say they're necessary to have a business?
Yes.
Have I taught you anything today that's unpractical?
No.
Guys, this is Rockefeller 2.0 from the 1900s. This is exactly how he did it in the early 1900s. This is standard practices of how to run a business. I've not taught you anything you couldn't read in a book today. Okay? Rockefeller has really pioneered the way to run a business. This is how people have been doing it for 100 years. And then we think it's brand new, like we've never heard of this. But if we don't utilize this in our entrepreneurships, we will stay right there owning a job. How many of you guys ever seen the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, where he goes in every day and gets time put on his arm for working? That's what you're doing. You're exchanging time for money. That's all you're doing. What could you do? Well, you can do this. You can continue to do nothing. If you're doing that today, doesn't sound like a good outcome to me, but you can do it. Right? Which is the definition of insanity, by the way. Keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. It leads to complacency, which is the enemy of success. A frustrated staff, probably a frustrated spouse as well. Lack of vision and focus, or focus. You can continue to struggle alone. You can rob your customers and yourself and your employees of growth. You can never fully reach your potential. Guys, I'm telling you your options here. You can stay the single point of failure in your own business. You can be the single reason why it never scales. You can keep grinding away. But guys, where's grinding getting us? Aren't you sick of it yet? I know I am. What should you do? Get into this quadrant right there. Build this business, use other people's time, systems, and processes to generate wealth. Get down here, guys, so where you can start exchanging money for money. You know why? Because when you get there, you can live a life of abundance. Guys, we go through 3 stages in life. We go through the survive method. We're just trying to eat. Somebody said that earlier. I'm just trying to get money for food. We go through the thriving method, where we're building systems and processes. And last, guys, we go through the abundance method, where we want to matter, where we want to give back. Right? That's where I am. At age 41 years old, I'm in the abundance method where I want to give back, I want to help others. With that being said, you get to choose where you give back to because your money is giving you more time to do so. And then you get to give back to charities that you might want to give to. People you love, like Veterans Path Up. With that being said, as a part of our giving goal, we're going to corporately sponsor Veterans Path Up from here on for $300 a month starting today. And I love you, Ken. And I want to challenge every one of you guys in this room to find a purpose, cause, passion that you can give back to. My dad served 21 years in the military, gave his life for our freedom. And he not only did that, he just gave his bladder from cancer from Agent Orange about 3 weeks ago. And this man's making a difference for those veterans. So this company, Harper Business Solutions, will forever love you and give back to you.
Appreciate it.
Okay? We're gonna sign this, get this to you tonight. Love you. I don't deserve that. I don't. I'm telling you, the man that deserves that cheer is him. He's the one suffering every month right now to barely survive, to barely put food on his table, to give back to veterans. Guys, if you have anything in you tonight, I implore you to go over and give to them. They need it. They deserve it. And it's doing something really amazing for this country. How many of you guys feel like that right now? Yeah. Guys, I teach this a lot. I understand. It's a little overwhelming. It's simple, but it's overwhelming. And I left out 3. There's 3 more areas that I would go over. It's data, issues, and communication. There's so much more, guys. For that, we've decided we're going to try to help you guys. We're going to have a Richmond boot camp. We're bringing my whole staff here in 1 month. And we're going to have a Richmond boot camp. There's been some, can you mind standing up? He came to my boot camp where?
It was in Chicago.
Yeah, so he's got my boot camp shirt on. I love that shirt. Yeah. And he came to it. Don, would you say a quick word about what brought to your business?
It's amazing. We've got systems now. We've actually got visions. We've got a plan. We're not flying by the seat of our pants. We're not chasing a car, you know, and like a dog chasing a car. We didn't know what to do when we caught it. And now we have a clear plan on our fix and flip business. I've got other things I want to do, but I'm staying focused on the fix and flipper right now until I get the key people in places to do everything that, so I can step back and chase my white squirrels that I'm famous for. And I, because of you and your wife, I'm able to understand the fact that it's focus. You got to stay focused. And that's always been my biggest issue. And thank you very much.
Don, we love you and Anne-Marie. Yep. You guys are some amazing people. Guys, when we choose to work with people, it's because we get a connected heart with them. And these guys right here are pretty awesome. He's got an amazing profile, too. So if you want any information about it, I'm not going to pitch you on it. I'm not a good pitcher. If you guys want it, ask Susan. She'll tell you because I have no clue. Let me play this for you here real quick and then we'll be done. Can we get some volume? Is there volume in here?
Yes.
I cut it down for the last. I cut it down.
Oh, you did?
You hit the function key.
We've swapped computers.
Hold the function key down.
Oh, it is plugged in.
I cut it down. Turn it down. Can you see it? I can't see it.
Yeah, it is. All right, it's up. All right, here we go.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Huh.
No volume. Sorry. Maybe we'll get it for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, it was.
Are you going to be back in the morning?
Actually, I'm going to be working with Mo Matthews tomorrow.
Okay.
Real quick, I'm telling a story here. The story's about a woodcutter. And the woodcutter goes to his job every day, and he gets this brand new job, and he goes in, his boss hires him, and he takes his axe and he cuts down 20 trees his first day. He goes at the end of the day, and the boss says, man, great job. I'm so proud of you. You did an amazing job. Here's your check. Go on your way. Next day, he comes back, same effort, same hard work, goes into cutting down more trees. He cuts down 15. Next day, it's 10, and then 5. And then he's so frustrated, he heads back to his boss, and he says, I'm a failure. I don't know what to do. I'm putting the same effort in. I'm killing myself, and I'm not cutting down nearly as many trees for you as I used to. And his boss looked at him, and he says, hey, when was the last time you sharpened your axe? He sharpened my axe. I ain't got no time to sharpen my axe. I'm busy cutting down trees. And his boss said, I tell you what, take 5 minutes, sharpen your axe today, and I guarantee you'll be more productive. He does that, goes and starts cutting down trees, and he's cutting down 20 trees again. He realizes that it's important every day to sharpen his axe. Guys, we mistake sharpening our axe for taking a vacation. We mistake sharpening our axe by taking a couple days off. Let me tell you this, if you are taking days off and you are not sharpening your axe, you're going back and picking up the same dull axe. And your productivity is going to stay right where it is. Being in this room today is a way to sharpen your axe. You leave here today, you're energized, you're enthusiastic, you've got knowledge, you feel empowered, and you're going to take that axe and you're going to go do something with it. And guys, woe be to you if you walk out of this room today and do nothing with the wisdom that you've gotten, and you don't swing that axe first thing Monday morning, and you leave that axe in your toolbox, because you will answer for that one time at some point with what you did with your time. All right, I hope that helped you guys today. What's that? He's asking for my contact up there.
Wow. I don't know where the microphone went. I seem to have that problem today, don't I?
You want this one?
No, I just want to, you guys can hear me, right? We can share? We're good. I'm good with this, right?
Yeah. You smell good.
Thank you. Thank you. That was really good, Gary.
Yeah.
I got a lot out of it. I mean, we got to think about what we're working on and what we're spending our time on. If your why is to be with your family, then don't do everything in your business. Figure out who you need in what seats and what those tasks are, and get your stuff sharp. And that's why I highly recommend Gary. If you're trying to scale your business, you need to talk to Gary. What a great, awesome thing that your wife's here with you today.
Oh my goodness.
This is the one that's the mic. Yeah, right? Oops. Come on, stand up. Give a little bow. Was he awesome? Was that a great way to end the day? Yes. I feel energized. I feel